A Psalm for the Wild Built is by Becky is a sci-fi post-apocalyptic kind of, but not really dystopian necessarily, novel that came out in 2021, I believe. Forgot to look before I started. Let's see. Yeah, 2021. Won the Hugo apparently that year, and yeah. So like I said, sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, but very hopeful. I wouldn't say it's utopian, but it's also not dystopian. It's more just chill sci-fi book. I had high hopes going into this one. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've heard that it's a relaxing read, like I said, very chill. But I had heard that it's very philosophical and dives deeply into a lot of philosophical subjects. Unfortunately, I do think it falls a little short on that end. So I was a little bit disappointed by it. It was still a good read. It was enjoyable. It's super short. So, definitely worth trying. But yeah, we follow the story of a monk named Dex, and the book gets into some detail about the philosophy and religion of the world. This doesn't exactly take place on Earth, I don't think. If it does, there's a different name for it, but I believe it takes place on some sort of moon of a planet that was previously inhabited, but the climate was destroyed and ruined. And they had started to do the same to this moon before they changed their ways, they being the humans living there, and sort of reversed the path towards ecological disaster that had taken place on their planet. At least that's how I understood it. And we also, so Dex is living in the city, doing their job, but they don't really, they get kind of bored and maybe a little disillusioned with city life or just life in general. They want to kind of try and find a different way to live life, do different things, find purpose, I guess. And so they switch jobs, staying within the monastic order that they're in, but they switch jobs to being a tea monk, which bikes with a little wagon around to outlying villages through the wilderness, and the tea monks make tea for people and listen to their problems. They're basically counselors in this world. So people meet with the monks one-on-one, talk about their problems, talk about their feelings. The monks give them advice and comfort, and then make them a cup of tea and send them on their way. So Dex starts doing this. Still isn't really feeling fulfilled in that line of work, and so sets out to do something else. I won't get into detail on that, but eventually along the way, Dex runs into a robot named Mosscap, and that's a big deal because in this world, robots and humans separated. They had a mutual agreement to no longer coexist, and the robots went off to live in nature. They awakened and became a little more self-aware, or I guess gained the desire to be self-fulfilling, and so they went off to live in nature, leaving the humans behind hundreds of years ago, with the promise that, we will come back, but you humans cannot seek us out. We will decide when we want to make contact with you again. So that's the whole long setup. That's about half the book, honestly. It's not. I hope it's not. That doesn't feel too spoilery, but the book's so short. You get there very quickly, and then the rest of the book is really kind of what the book is actually about. The interactions between the monk and the robot, and the conversations that they have, the places they go, the things they see, the things they do. So overall, really enjoyable read. The writing is very simple. Doesn't get in the way, gets the point across very efficiently. Very modern style of writing. So if things like, modern turns of speech and slang and curses and thought processes, if those sorts of things get in the way for you when you're reading escapist fiction or genre fiction like this, unfortunately this book has a lot of that. I didn't really mind it. I'm not picky about stuff like that, but yeah, the writing's fine. Dex is an all right character. I appreciate their journey and their desires, and the things that they're looking for in this book. But both Dex and Moss Cap are meant to be charming and maybe a little bit relatable, and then not much else. Really, it is kind of about the broader topics that are touched on in this book. So rather than the characters and their stories. So those broader topics, I won't get into too much detail, because for me that's where I think the spoilers lie. But like I said, it is about like finding purpose in life, in what you do, and also, thinking about interactions between humans and their environment, and sort of that coexistence, and human greed, stuff like that. And unfortunately, it really, for having such a focus on that stuff, to me, it doesn't really have a satisfying exploration of those ideas for me. Still pleasant to read, but it just brushes the surface of a wide variety of subjects, rather than really diving very deep into any of them, which is what I was hoping for. I was hoping for a very thoughtful exploration of this stuff. That being said, I kind of feel like that's maybe what was intended for the book. It's intended to introduce these ideas and these subjects for the reader to then ponder on their own, maybe. I don't know. That could be it. Because also, like I said, it's short. There's not really a lot that you can do when you're trying to not only discuss these subjects but also tell a story. So I understand that it can't go too deep into that stuff. But I was hoping for that, and it's not really there. Still thought-provoking. Still had me pondering things. The thing that this book does best is just calm you down. Like, holy cow. If you're having a bad week or month, stressful time, or you're feeling down or something, pick this book up. It may not make you uh, like cheer you up and make you happy necessarily, but it will make you relax. Um, like, sitting next to a fire with a cup of hot cocoa or something. Oh, the sun's coming out finally. It probably looks terrible now though. But anyway, yeah. So very very great job with that. One of the most relaxing books I've read. Very hopeful, very calm and inspiring, even in some ways. The world that is described here is incredibly lush and vibrant, despite sparse descriptions. You really get that feeling of, dense beauty and tranquility in this book and in the world that it describes. So, yeah. Interestingly, there's apparently a sequel to this. I don't feel like a sequel is necessary. I mean, story-wise, I guess at the end, it's left open that, there could be more things happening, more adventures to be had. But I kind of wish it was its own thing. I don't think there needed to be a sequel. But I don't know. Maybe I'll read it. Maybe I won't. I'm not really feeling like I'm going to read the second book at this time. So, yeah. But A Psalm for the Wild Built, Becky Chambers. If you like this review, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. If you have read this book, let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Subscribe for more, and I will see you next time.